The US Defense Secretary James Mattis has announced that more than 3,000 extra troops will be sent to Afghanistan in line with President Trump's new strategy. The deployment will bring US presence in Afghanistan to around 14,000 troops. 11,000 are currently stationed there. Well, it does follow a new plan unveiled by Donald Trump back in August, and in that speech he did rule out setting any withdrawal deadlines, and he asked other NATO members to increase their financial and military contributions to the war effort. The strategy marked a stark U-turn from his pre-election promises.
We will also expand authority for American armed forces to target the terrorist and criminal networks.
Afghanistan is a total and complete disaster. Let's get with it. Get out of Afghanistan.
Well, this year has been one of the deadliest for Afghan civilians since the start of the war. More than 700 have been killed and 1,500 injured. And the country has seen widespread protests against the ongoing US presence and deadly airstrikes.
The US has been bombing our people, and they're killing our women and children everywhere in Afghanistan. They didn't come to help us. They came to make problems for Muslims in Afghanistan and around the world. We don't want the US to be in Afghanistan.
OK, well, we can get the thoughts now of Robert Nyman. He's a policy director at Just Foreign Policy think tank. Thanks very much for your time this evening, Robert. Firstly, do you think this is a good decision then, sending in more troops?
No, I don't think it's a good decision. I think it's very unfortunate that President Trump has reneged on his promise to get out of Afghanistan. And he hasn't explained what 3,000 more troops, U.S. troops, can do in Afghanistan that 100,000 U.S. troops didn't accomplish. It's been 16 years. We've had two different presidents, Democrat and Republican. Obama's national security advisor, Ben Rhodes, said when Trump, quote unquote, announced his new strategy, said this is the same as the Obama strategy. So it's very disappointing.
It is, and it's curious too. I mean, you raised the point there, 3,000 extra troops. It's not that many. Is this just a cosmetic sort of thing? Or, I mean, what on earth could he expect them to achieve, do you think?
Well, I think it's the strategy is to not lose. The U.S., I mean, no analyst thinks the U.S. can win the war in Afghanistan. And even though Trump has said, now we're going to win, his advisors have said, no, actually, the strategy is to not lose. The strategy is to prevent the Taliban from winning. The strategy is not for the U.S. to win. So they're going to try and fortify Kabul. They're expanding the green zone, fortifying the green zone. So they're not going to try to help the Afghan government retake, reportedly, they're not going to try and help the Afghan government to retake areas taken by the Taliban. They know they can't do that. Instead, they're just going to try to defend Kabul.
They're also facing increased resistance, aren't they, Robert? Just going by our earlier report, I'm not sure how much of it you saw, but many locals there aren't happy with the US presence there or it being increased either.
It's true that many people in Afghanistan aren't happy. That's not surprising. Show me the country in the world where people like being occupied indefinitely by foreign troops, or where they like having night raids or airstrikes carried out by a foreign military. So there's no reason to expect any significant change. The only thing that would produce a significant change is if the U.S. government, the Trump administration, would commit itself to a diplomatic resolution of the conflict and try to bring together all the warring factions, all the neighboring countries that are supporting different factions, and say, you know, we're going to do the one thing that we've never done since 2001. The U.S. hasn't done since 2001, which is seriously put energy behind a political resolution of the conflict.
OK, Robert, look, we've run out of time, so we'll leave it there. But nice to talk to you. That was Robert Nyman, Policy Director at Just Foreign Policy think tank. Thank you.